I've covered the backstory in detail in the last video. The link is in the description if you missed it, but here's the short version. Independent artists are geographically trapped. Not because their music isn't good enough to travel, not because fans in other cities wouldn't love them, but because there's no system, no platform, no mechanism that bridges the gap between an artist in one city and a potential audience in another. The music industry built its infrastructure around artists who already had national reach: radio, labels, booking agents, Spotify editorial playlists. All of it rewards artists who are already known. It doesn't help artists get known. And the internet, for all its promise, didn't really fix this. Spotify has 600 million users. The chance of a truly independent, unsigned artist from Brisbane being discovered by a fan in Geelong through the algorithm, vanishingly small. So the problem persists. Talented artists stuck in their local scenes with no clear path forward. Until now. MuSeek is a geographic music discovery platform. Let me say that again simply. It connects independent artists with fans in cities they haven't yet reached. And it does it using something that's been completely overlooked by every other platform: fan demand. Here's the core idea. An artist joins MuSeek and sets up their profile. It's linked to their existing presence, their Spotify, their Bandcamp, SoundCloud, their socials. MuSeek doesn't ask them to move their music anywhere, it just surfaces them. Fans join MuSeek and tell it where they are. The platform then shows them independent artists from their own city and beyond, artists they might never have found through an algorithm, because those artists don't have the streaming numbers to trigger one. And here's where it gets interesting, because MuSeek isn't just a discovery tool, it's a demand tool. Every artist on MuSeek has a profile, and fans can vote on that artist. Not a like, not a follow, a vote, a specific, intentional action that says, I want this artist to reach my city. When an artist receives enough votes from fans in a specific geographic area, when the threshold is met, MuSeek signals to that artist, there is real, proven demand for you here. People in this city want to hear your music. People in this city would come to your show. Think about what that means for an independent artist trying to decide whether to book a tour date in a city they've never played. Right now, that decision is a guess. You spend money on travel, on accommodation, on promotion, and you hope the room fills. And if it doesn't, and for unknown artists, it often doesn't, you've lost money and momentum. With MuSeek, that guesswork is gone. You can see before you spend a single dollar that 50 fans in Adelaide have voted for you, that 38 fans in Perth are waiting. The demand is visible, the risk drops dramatically. And for fans, it gives you actual power. Instead of passively hoping your favourite independent artist somehow makes it to your city, you can actively vote to make it happen. You become part of the reason they come. The threshold we've built into MuSeek is this: 75% positive votes from 25 or more fans in a geographic area unlocks that market for an artist. That's not a vanity number, that's a real signal of genuine local demand. It's not about gaming an algorithm, it's about real people in real places saying, we want this. Why hasn't this been built before? This is a question I get asked most, and it's a fair one. If this idea is so obvious, If the problem is so clear, why hasn't anyone built it? A few reasons. First, the music industry has historically been more interested in protecting existing revenue streams than solving problems for independent artists. The majors, the streaming platforms, the booking infrastructure, they're all optimised for artists who are already generating money. Independent artists are largely an afterthought. Second, the technology to do this properly, geolocation, no-code app building, the ability for a small team or even a solo founder to build a sophisticated platform, that's genuinely new. 10 years ago, building MuSeek would have cost $60,000 just to get started. I know that because I asked. Today, the tools exist to build it lean. And third, honestly, it takes someone who has lived the problem to care enough to solve it. Most tech founders haven't spent 30 years as an independent musician. They haven't felt the specific frustration of knowing your music is good enough and having nowhere to take it. I have. And that's why I'm building this instead of waiting for someone else to. So that's MuSeek, geographic music discovery, powered by fan voting, built by someone who needed it to exist for 30 years. In the next video, I'm going to get into the actual build, what it looks like to construct a platform like this with no technical background, and what a no-code platform can and can't do. And no doubt there'll be roadblocks. I'll show you what my first real roadblock was. If you're building something yourself, especially something no-code, I think you'll find it useful and probably a little reassuring. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Join the waitlist at joinmuseek.com. And if you know an independent musician who needs to hear about this, send them this video. See you next week.